Croydon. A masked mob marches through the streets chanting Allahu Akbar. The mob were expecting to meet anti-immigration protesters after details of planned protests were leaked and shared widely online. The group of young thugs walked more than a mile through the centre of town, terrorising onlookers, until they were met by police and a scuffle broke out. Some onlookers enjoyed the drama, as masked youths clashed with police.
They're coming.
Others abhorred the trashing of their town.
Jeez, why are they trashing the place? This is the only place in England today I've seen getting trashed.
Madness.
What is going on? Nah.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
Why are they doing it?
The mob continued its rampage. Elsewhere in the city, anti-migrant protesters failed to turn up to a leaked march in Walthamstow, where thousands of pro-refugee counter-protesters had amassed to, as they say, see off the far right. Palestine flags could be seen flying as the protesters claimed their streets in a chant.
Love not hate! 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 Our streets!
But elsewhere in London, things took a nasty turn when a statue of the Virgin Mary was destroyed at a church, leaving worshippers frightful of attacks. Back in Croydon, where tensions fizzled into a full confrontation between a masked mob and police, GB News found a tense atmosphere where locals didn't want to speak openly about the prior night's violence. Happy to share your opinion?
No.
No? Okay.
Sorry, we're getting late.
I'm in a hurry at the moment.
Okay, no worries. Most of the people GB News approached either downplayed it or didn't want to open up. Until we met a local sick of the tensions who was prepared to admit Croydon was in a dark place and that it had become what he calls a bad area.
Yeah, I'm not going to say though, yeah, I see it go on. I see it all happen. I've seen a few things happen like that.
Are you worried about community tensions in Croydon or in the country?
In the country in whole. Because, I mean, it's not nice not to be able to walk about or anything because you're too scared of what's going to happen. There's been a lot of violence going on down here. My mate's son was killed down in West Croydon years ago. So I know what it's like.
Who do you blame?
Who do I blame, to be honest with you? The people that do it. Because you can't blame the government, because it's not the government's fault. You can't blame no one else, it's the people that do it.
Do you reckon the riots will come to an end, or do you reckon they're going to get worse?
They're going to get worse. Of course they are. It's going to escalate more. And this area is a bad area. It's a very bad area, Croydon.
Police took to X to say approximately 50 people have gathered in North End Road, Croydon. They've made clear their intention is to cause disruption and fuel disorder. But the force says the action is not linked to protest. This appears to be pure antisocial behaviour. No mention of the religious chants. One onlooker summed up the night's events.
For the last 2.5, 3 hours with no incident. And then all of a sudden, somebody claims that some of the EDL had arrived near North End. Some guys went down to see if they were there. They weren't there. Police arrived saying they received intelligence that some of the Muslims had weapons. They searched a guy. It turned into a scuffle. Bully vans have shown up.
This account matches with what one TikToker who wished to remain anonymous told GB News. The next day, Croydon's mosque was still boarded up from where they had expected an attack the night before by anti-migrant protesters who never arrived. Police said 8 people have been arrested for assaulting emergency workers, possession of offensive weapons and other offences. Cops then posted a picture to X of officers as they were making arrests. Croydon Mosque said, regarding the potential unrest yesterday, there was a plethora of social media posts, but we remained guided by the local authorities on the veracity of some of the claims being made online. The mosque was in constant liaison with the local authorities, including the police, and we worked with them closely where necessary to de-escalate any potential community tensions. The local community were of course concerned, but remained vigilant and had faith in and were compliant with police advice. As a result, this evening passed off trouble-free. But the police's account and images shared to social media show the night was less than peaceful. The mood lingered in the air when GB News spoke to locals about the violence, both locally and across the nation.
Well, I think it's out of order, really.
How come?
But to me, I just think people should live together. Doesn't matter what religion you are or what colour you are. If you got a grudge about because asylum seekers are getting better treatment than you are, and the English people are not getting what they want. But we all live in this society, in this country, and we should all live together.
Last question, do you think the riot's going to continue or do you reckon they'll settle down soon?
That's another big question.
People were not willing to say much more than that the situation isn't great.
What would you say to people who are rioting?
Well, you can't approach anyone. They might stab me. They don't do anything. It's just scary, but I don't know who to blame. You see, I'm in the middle class, so I don't know what to say.
In what on first thought seemed to be a joke is a chilling admission of how onlookers feel as community tensions rise. Locals enjoying a midday drink in this pub were more than happy to chat about the night's events. Until asked to do so on film, they clammed up. In here, we can talk. Out there, as far as I'm concerned, nothing happened. I'm not getting involved, said one punter. GB News left the pub. Business owners have been affected by the night's action, which meant shoppers had stayed away the next day.
It happened when I closed the shop. It happened when I was at home, about 9 o'clock, I heard.
Are you concerned about the flare-up in violence nationwide, more generally?
Of course it is, yeah. Yes, I am, yeah.
What worries you?
Well, it's all the riots and all that, damages to the properties and businesses. Like today, it's so quiet because I think people are scared to come out.
It's affecting your pocket?
Of course it will. It will, yeah, it will.
Do you reckon it's going to calm down or do you reckon it's going to get worse?
I hope it gets calmed down. So it's hard to judge anything like that. Very hard to say.
Other business owners didn't want to talk. They saw and heard nothing, they said. In Wembley, the congregation of the local Catholic Church woke up to what they call heinous scenes. The church's statue of Mother Mary had been smashed to pieces in what the local Labour women's officer called an attack on religion. A very upset member of the congregation spoke to GB News on condition of anonymity. Their voice has been disguised.
I just checked WhatsApp, the status, and I just see the statue of Mother Mary has been destroyed in our church. We had my dad go and actually see what happened, and he saw the pieces of Mother Mary on the floor, right? After I saw that, I thought instantly I have to get this online. There's going to be no news coverage on this because anything that happens in this area never gets published online. The church, I don't believe, want a lot of eyeballs on the story. I really think that the church might also be worried about the negative side of having more eyeballs. So more attacks on the church, more disinformation, people pushing bad things about the church, right? Just protecting its own name online. But I wanted to push the message out there that Christians are also being attacked too, right? It's not only about the church, it's not only about this attack, it's about the attack on Christians worldwide, everywhere. We do feel fearful, right, about attacks. There was a lot of thinking about who actually did this attack, right? Because either someone who was just a lone crazy man who did this, or someone who had a motive on hatred towards Christians. But yeah, my family do get worried, but nothing that will stop us from attending church. And if the police actually did their job and actually protected all citizens, I think that would also be a positive. And also our Prime Minister talking about how he should protect the Muslim community and using language that enrages half of the community, when actually he should be protecting the UK as the Prime Minister.
This is referring to comments made by the Prime Minister in a statement from Downing Street.
We've seen Muslim communities targeted, attacks on mosques, other minority communities singled out, Nazi salutes in the street, attacks on the police, wanton violence alongside racist rhetoric. So no, I won't shy away from calling it what it is. far-right.
St Joseph's Church said in a statement to GB News, "The parish community as a whole is saddened by this mindless act, but we will utilise this opportunity to strengthen our faith. The parish office is in contact with necessary authorities and will take action as needed." Local Labour Party Women's Officer Joyce D'Souza said, "While this antisocial activity was done to target and hurt the community's religious feelings, I appeal to the community to stay united at this difficult time. Let's continue to believe in peace and at the same time be vigilant." Police are investigating and security around the church has been stepped up. Nicholas Dunning, GB News.